Okay, welcome to the simplest recipe you're ever going to find. Other than the roasted carrots, we have our sweet potato fries, which we are going to make right now. So the recipe calls for 3 sweet potatoes. Listen, if you have 1 or 2 or 4, you'll be okay. So we're going to take a sweet potato. We're going to use a vegetable peeler to peel off the skin. We have our oven preheating at 425. We've got a baking sheet. Those are all the necessary ingredients you need, as well as some coconut oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. If you've got kids, this is where you want to get them involved. So you just have the kids peel your potatoes. Let them work their way up the ranks. And if they're young enough, then they'll actually really enjoy it. It's when they're older, they're like, oh, I don't want to peel the potato or do anything. So start them early, that's the key. I can't make a juice at home now without my little guy Oscar pulling up a chair and wanting to be right there, which is adds a little bit of time to the juicing, but it's all good. It makes, it's enjoyable for him, so that's a good thing. So we have this. Now we're going to start cutting it into like French fry, like julienne kind of sizes. Now you can cut them as thick or as thin as you want. Remember, the thicker, the more time that will be required to cook. So I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit thinner, if this knife will permit me, without chopping off my fingers. Come on. There we go. And same on this side. So it's important to sharpen your knife every now and then. This one is getting a little bit used up, so it's going to need a good sharpen soon. Okay, so then I'm going to take them and I'm going to just kind of cut them into that size, maybe even a little bit thinner. It depends on if you want them thick or thin, if you like McDonald's fries or thick and chunky fries. So we'll take it right up there. And what we're going to use these with or in is we're going to dip them in our garlic mayo. So if you've seen the video for that, you'll know what that's all about. If you haven't, then I'd recommend you watch it. It's really simple to make. And this is a really cool way to impress your friends at the next dinner party you hold, or get your kids eating more good sweet potatoes. If you have athletes in the family, sweet potatoes are a really good substitute for pasta. So a lot of athletes that I work with, they're always like, oh, Yuri, you say don't eat pasta because it wears you down. What do I eat instead? Well, sweet potatoes are a tremendous substitute, very good source of starchy carbohydrates that are going to fuel your performance, and they're also a really good source of the highest source of vitamin A, I should add, much greater than carrots even. So that's pretty cool, right? Vitamin A is really good for your vision, good for your skin, and a lot of other stuff. So some of these are thicker, some of them are thinner. It's all good. I'm just kind of playing around, and they're about 2 inches in length. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to use the good old oil on the paper towel technique to grease up our pan so that we don't get any of this stuff sticking. And then we'll throw these guys onto the pan, and we can just kind of work them around so they get some of the oil on them. You can even try to flip them like that if you want. And you can just kind of finish off with a couple little dollops of coconut oil. Boom, like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. It's at 425, so it's going to cook a little bit quicker than if it was at 350, obviously. And just every couple minutes, just kind of go back in, give it a shake, flip them over so that they all get the tender love and care that they need from the heat. So that is pretty much all you need to do. Now it's time to set it and forget it. We're going to put it into the oven and we'll let it do its thing, and I'll show you what it looks like when it all comes out. Cool? Yeah. Okay, so we have one little guy. So here's a good example of how quickly things get done. So this one was really thin and it looks like a black green bean. And let's compare that to one that's a little bit thicker which is obviously, perfectly done. So just keep that in mind when you're cutting different sizes. Some will be done quicker, some will be done a little bit slower. But these are done and they are ready to go. And I've actually gotten out my previously prepared garlic mayonnaise, which is essentially orange juice, garlic, and avocado. Really, really good. And let's see if we can put these in a bowl. Serve these up. So a really nice way to enjoy sweet potatoes outside of mashed sweet potatoes. And as I said before, they're such a great source of nutrition that there's really no excuse not to have them, unless you just don't like them. Okay, so these are obviously piping hot, but I'll take the one that's a little bit more well done and essentially just kind of dip it into your garlic mayo. And voila, awesome little side dish, mid-afternoon snack while you're watching a soccer game or a football game or whatever else you're doing for fun. And there it is. Takes about 30 minutes to make altogether and you're all done. Cool, enjoy.